What is happening, YouTube? We are exactly 4 weeks out from our first race of the 2026 season. It will be the pro race at Dallas, Texas. Yeehaw, we're going back there. Can't wait for it. Let's have a look at my training from the 9th of February, Monday to Sunday, how that looked like, what I did, stats, data, all of it. Let's get into it. First of all, excuse me if you see a little bit something there. I just shaved myself and I cut myself there. And as a German, you can put a bandage in basically any place you want, but the upper lip isn't one of them. Slippery slope, brother. Can't do it. So if it's a little bit red here, or bleeding even, that is because I shaved myself. So let's have a look at the stats first. So in total, I completed 23 workouts and the week was a total of 24 hours and 37 minutes. Alrighty, so if you followed last week's video, I'm doing those videos every single week to go through my training so you have a grasp of what is this person doing, what is the heart rate, what is the powers, what are the powers in the race, what paces is he running in training, what does it look like with the paces in the race. So all those things that has a clear background, basically like a live Strava feed with a bit of yapping and talking over it for me, giving a personal perspective, what it feels like to do this, so you through your screen hopefully get motivated to chase your own goals, whatever it is, maybe your first run event, maybe a triathlon, maybe anything that you enjoy. Maybe start a new life with 40 and get out to study your dream thing that you always wanted to do. Might be, who knows, medicine or whatever it is, or construction, or build a violin or whatever. Do it. All right, let's focus here. We got the 9th of February. We got 4 days easy. So I'm going to go through a little bit quicker through them because, to be honest, who cares about easy training? Exactly nobody. But if you don't recover, it is equally important, and I'm the master of not recovering because I did that for a good few years. It's just not so fun to do. So especially those days when you go through those fatigue, it's just not really enjoyable. But I understand now if you, and everybody knows this, but to actually execute it, especially when you have big goals and dreams and ambitions, the bigger those get, the more difficult it gets to have the grasp and understanding what is needed to get better. Because if you train hard, you gotta recover just as hard. Everybody knows this. Trick is, not everybody does it. So, Monday, easy day. I had a 45-minute easy swim, just some flushing out, nothing crazy. Good morning, YouTube. It's Monday, it's my easy day. We're gonna be actually having 3 easy days to absorb the last block. We had a good 3-week block again, if you've seen last week's videos. So Monday is my easy day. Swim and gym is on the menu. Swim actually helps a lot when you have the technique, kind of finally figure out what you need to do. So kind of any stroke helps me to bank that movement. So look forward to it, make it fun and chill, enjoy the day and rest up. All right, swim done. Definitely ready for rest. After 6 reps of 50, so basically I was already bored, ready to go out. So that was a sign of fatigue for sure. So perfect timing. Right now, just resting. And when motivation drops and all, it's always fatigue with me. So it's good, perfect. But it's actually quite difficult to switch in this relax mode when you're on the go so much. Maybe you guys know it with work and everything. The rest day is probably difficult to get out of that mode. It's very essential that you do though. But yeah, it's quite tricky. So you have to know from always being on the full gas basically. Also time-wise with the clock, with eating and rhythm, everything. It's 7 days a week, 24 hours, right? So yeah, switch out of it now. And sleep mostly helps to just, even if you don't want to sleep, like a flipping toddler, part of the job is to nail this day is definitely not doing all kinds of stuff because you suddenly have time. That's what I did before. And to fill in the days when you suddenly have time, that's a mistake. So now it's the art of doing nothing so my body can actually recover, because that's the only way you recover. All right, see ya. Then afternoon, I actually had some core work there. I really left the weights, everything really controlled some activations, but nothing that interfered also hormonally or from my nervous system. I didn't want my nervous system at all to go from this really parasympathetic, this relaxed mode, this, being on the couch, calm mode. I didn't want it to even a little bit go into this, we have to, something's coming, he's doing it again, he's doing some intensity or something. So I did that really well, and then some easy massage. myself. I massage the legs myself. You can actually do it with coconut oil. I found really good because it's easy slippery. I just watch the show and you can really go into close to the bones, everywhere, or even feet, all those things. Your legs you can easily do on your own. To be honest, I prefer that even to going somewhere, lay on a bench, massage, and just lay there for an hour and stare at the ceiling. I don't know. For me right now it works perfectly because I believe massage is important, but sleep and diet is more important. And yeah, so Tuesday, 10th of February, still easy. We had a 15-minute run in the morning. Easy, 9 kilometers, 132 average heart rate, 5:36 minute per K pace. Good morning, YouTube. It is Tuesday morning now. So today we have 3 sessions. First a 15-minute easy run, just jogging, then easy swim, 45 minutes with some sprints, and then a 1.5 hour ride with again some short 10-second sprint activations, but overall recovery. Definitely yesterday some fatigue coming out, which is good. I allowed it. I didn't feel the day. Did a good job, but after those days, even the morning after, not gonna feel the best. Especially the mind starts to drift to a few things, like more negative than positive, like things out of my control, like past. So yeah, I have to keep a lid on that. But I also think, why is that? One thing is probably Saturday that triggered it from last week. So shocked there with the CT of the wife and everything. But make sure to tell your brain, hey, she's safe. There's no danger for anything, mortal danger. That's the only thing that matters. Anything else is fixable, but everything is fine. So yeah, control that part and do everything I can in my given week. But the past is always something that haunts all of us at times. Things we can't change, can't control. That's why the past can be so tricky. But you have to let go and just say, what can I do today? And the fix for that is always gratitude for the day. Hey, I'm healthy. I'm not Lindsey Vonn right now with a broken tibia. And yeah, she did what she could. It's an amazing champion, but just like small things like that, you know, that gets you back to the present. And that's what I'm doing right now, celebrating this run. Good. Then we had another 45-minute easy swim. Again, easy peasy schneezy. Swim is banged, it was really good. I like to watch stuff and visualize and like from, yeah, especially like MMA and all those things. One thing I will be very proud of is, and I hope this comes through the story as well here on this channel and this filming that I'm doing, is that you can do it on your own. Like, I have some guidance on training and obviously support of my wife, but day to day, all the work, I do it all on my own. Now again in the pool, constantly analyzing and fixing small things. I have the biomechanical knowledge from physio, luckily, so this universe has this thing that puzzles it all together. But like, you can do it on your own, whatever your dream is, whatever your desire is. Reality is nobody's gonna hold your hand. So you gotta do it on your own. And of course, it's great if you have guidance and help, which you need. But in the end, it comes down to you. Do you want it? You have to do the work on your own. And it's gonna feel even sweeter when you have these objective things coming out, like winning races and all that stuff, which is one part of the success. It's gonna feel sweet. And then in the evening, we had a 1 hour 30 bike ride. Easy with a lot of short 8-second sprints, activations. Again, just activations was just 400 watts over 8 seconds. It's not really, didn't feel hard, but it's just a little bit something to keep the body moving and helps to flush out. All right, the bike is done. One thing is that really, one thing I'm more impatient now than ever is because if you follow the videos for the last years, basically since I went full time, is that the main question I ask myself is like, you have point A, point B, is this, how do you get there, right? You determine the goal, and you determine your dream, and you break it down to goals. This is the goal, you know the numbers, ranges that it's needed. It's basically a math game, triathlon. I think that's why people get confused. It's not how mentally tough you are. 90% is your training, your conditioning, and that is the art part of it, of training, which I don't have, my coach have, when to insert a session at the right timing and recovery and all those things that from in point B in the future, let's say for me this is end of June, you're at your highest capacity on that day. Very difficult to do. That is an art part, you can read that, you can study that with science and all that. It doesn't have an answer to it, it's an experience thing. But the main thing that I was difficult to figure out, in swim, bike, run, individually, for the distances, half Ironman and full Ironman, which metrics, because there's so much knowledge out there these days, and I tried a lot of methods. If you followed the videos, I tried a lot of them, and I learned a lot, and I talked to a lot of people, mainly people that I valued the opinion of, that achieved or want to achieve. So I talked to 2-3 world champions, I talked to people that trained world champions in my sport, in Ironman, and learned from them, and also sought help from other people that had Olympic gold medalists in other niches from the sport of skiing, for example, where the endurance factor is not downhill skiing. Anyways, summarized, it's very difficult to train for the swim part. Is probably the most complex, easiest, it's straightforward, because there's a lot of overlap to classical swimming. So if you're a good pool swimmer, you'll swim well in open water. It's probably the easiest, but again, not the easiest. Now, only through my coach now, I learned all those tricks. Bike part is most definitely the most difficult, I would say. Yeah. Very few people, I would say a maximum of 5 coaches in the world right now. Maximum, I would say. No, and you see it on when you put them on the World Championship course, there's mostly very big differences. They were a little bit smaller because of the 12-meter draft rule, but they will be now much more significant, the differences, because they should be, how are you conditioned for 2 hours time trialing and 4 hours time trialing? Basically in your zone 3, almost, even for full Ironman, you're leaning towards zone 3 now with the carb intake. How do you do that? And there are people, most people, including coaches, there's a big question mark. They don't know. They try to beat and tell you, it's a VO2 on the threshold. That's not it. I'm not going to share this because I found it out. It took me years to find out. And that's also one part. I'm not sharing all my bike training because I figured it out. I'm not going to give that away. But that's why I'm so excited about, it's going to take me a year to put this system in, to get the aerobic conditioning and strength to get to the level where I want to be. For sure, but it's going to be the first snippets now coming this year. But the main thing is, I know what I'm going to do. I got to layer them over top of each other. I'm just getting so impatient because I know finally, okay, I just got to do this. I would love to just download this snippet for the future to look in, but it's not how it works. And run as well, also. So all 3 I figured out, which was the hardest part of the journey, I have to say, was the figuring out part and deselecting what is not working, what is not thing, because that's it. So I'm very happy. All right, let's have some lunch. Then we are already going to Wednesday. That is again Wednesday, February 11th. Again, an easy run, some technique work in there, 45 minutes, 8 kilometers. Good morning, YouTube. We are on day 3 of our easy rest period, like this snake shedding the fatigue. That's something I was not good at, and probably I hear a lot of athletes after their coach say they don't like the easy days. Yeah, you don't like it when you think about the physiology, because most of your days, especially when you work, family, triathlon, you spend kind of in this go mode, fight or flight mode. And then on easy days, the first time in a while probably, if training is correctly structured for those days, you're really shutting down, going into a relaxed nervous system, parasympathetic mode. And that is a contrast that can feel quite shocking. And I had it on Monday, as I said, and yesterday as well, so 2 days. It's not a nice feeling. Oh, it feels like a hangover sometimes. You have to hydrate, but you're not feeling good, like nervous system, because you're actually relaxing and shedding all the fatigue, letting it come out. But you have to see it like a healing process, right? If you don't go through that, which I'm the best example, I didn't do it for years, literally years, I didn't go in there. I was just keeping going, was unhappy with results and training and coaching, and just kept going, layering work on top of things that was not ready to be layered on top. So now I'm doing these things and look what's happening. Getting better every block significantly. So it's all I can do, it's all I wished for. And that only happens because I actually absorb the load, and not just within those blocks, but nowadays having really times of downtime. And I can see it on my data, resting heart rate, going further down, average heart for the night further down, and the HRV is coming way up. So the body is, working through it, feeling better. So do those easy days. They're equally important, not a little important. If you want to train hard and improve, you have to do the easy days and do them properly. Not fill them with workload that you're still in sympathetic nervous system. Suddenly clean the whole house. Suddenly, whatever it is, suddenly you'll have time. Let's do all these things. And then you're not serious about your training. And then you have to accept the consequences that you're not going to improve. So it's up to you and it's up to me. Let's do it. Chase those dreams. Then straight after the run, I did a 90-minute ride. Again, easy. Had actually 240 normalized power and 133 heart rate. So that was after the ride. And then in the evening, we had a short swim, 45 minutes with some short sprints. We're going through the easy week. Quick, come on. You cannot do another 60-minute video. I'm talking to myself here. Because the last two videos were flipping 60 minutes. Nobody's got this kind of time, brother. You gotta, time's ticking. So this one better be around 20 minutes so people have time to watch it and digest it, All right, Thursday, 12th of February, we had a 1 hour swim. What's happening? Thursday morning, today we got 2 sessions. We got the swim, that's instead of a hard swim, still a technique-based one. Some pedals and some feel and rhythm things. And then later the gym session, one of the easier sessions of this model to also give there a bit of a rest, but still some stimulus, but nothing that will make me sore because it's a way easier progression. There was some feeling in it, some technique work again, and then the gym work again. Also on that front, normally Thursdays is muscular endurance session, which is kind of tailored to endurance sports. That one is also an easier version, so less progressive. So also that on that front I can recover. Because on Friday, Saturday, Sunday we hit the gas. Hula boola. Let's go into that one. All right, those days are actually interesting now, so let's get into it. So the Friday, the 13th, beautiful date. We hit the gas in the pool and I damn near drowned myself there. Morning YouTube, Friday morning now. Finally this horrific period of resting is over. Yuck. Now, it's obviously good and important for the body, but it's just not that interesting and fun. That's why I never did it. Psych. But now we're doing it and now we can actually improve. So is it improve? Pretty straightforward. So we're hitting the pool, hard set. There, it's good to switch off mentally for this. No more thinking technique. Technique is set now. Prioritize effort. That's something for that and see what we get out of it. It's 2 sets of 10 times 50s hard with 10 seconds rest only, and then also 1200s with a mix of butterfly and freestyle. Tilting it, but for it. Even looking back afterwards, because I reacted strong to it from the system with resting heart rate, everything, I was thinking, should I go 20% less there? But I felt like the demand is going to be there in the swim, and I just felt like a perfect stimulus. Just, you're not just a swimmer, right? So you have the whole cocktail. But I think looking back, although it was that hard on the system, especially coming from EDZ days, it was still the right call because everything went well and I need those. So let's have a look what I did in swim. Alright gang, short debrief of the swim. First of all, it's flipping horrific. That was a solid 9 out of 10. For sure, but super needed because in the swim, especially the cardio and just fitness side of it was lacking, so this tackles this exactly. So in total was 2 sets. First before the butterfly set was 10 times 50s, was all short course meter because I can control the time better. In the long course I can't see it, so time is kind of my coach on deck. So yeah, first 10 times 50s with pedals was all 31 to 33 seconds, mostly in 32, 33. 10 seconds rest only, that felt good. Then it started 100 meter easy and then into 10 times 100, 25 butterfly, 75 hard threshold, whatever you want to call it, and with also 15 seconds rest. And I did the first 4 in like 1:14, 15 and 16, and then after 5 was just the end. I started to get a bit sick in the stomach. I think I have to space out the breakfast more. And yesterday I had pizza, which has fats in it. They can also play a role. If it's not that, it's obviously intensity. But that's for next time learning. And yeah, then I swam the rest all 120 in total, and just super gassed, but like I could really control the stroke still and make the stroke through distance per stroke, so like not through cadence. In swimming, cadence is kind of the cheap man's way to speed, but it's not how you get there, because even the fastest swimmers, pool swimmers I mean, they have around 12 strokes per 25 meters. Okay, they have better underwater, probably a meter more than me consistently. So let's say for me, anything more than 13 strokes, because I have the same wingspan and height as elite swimmers that I know here from Finland. Obviously not Olympic level, they have 10 centimeters more than me wingspan, but I have enough for all the speeds that I want. It's just technique, strength, distance per stroke, so very happy with this. And then after that again 10 times 50 the pedals, and they're pretty much all 34, mostly 35. But there was awesome. I could just keep the really lean into the stroke still pull with strength, not just be gassed and turn your arms around. So very happy with this set. This will help me a lot. Then afternoon I had a 2 hour 45 minute bike ride. The normalized power for the whole ride was 240 watts, 130 average heart rate. There were some short bursts of low cadence in there with a bit more watts, 360 now, all air position of course the whole ride. Alright guys, doing good, very good fresh energy. You can tell how the rest gives you another level, very happy. So it's a 2 hour 45 bike ride. Now I have some big gear work in there at 50 cadence-ish, some strength, and yeah, evening little run. Still hyped about the swim, not hyped, but just satisfied with the effort and how it is. So watching some Truett here, Truett Haynes. If you haven't seen him, yeah, just someone who dares to dream big and work for it, love it, and yep, let's go. Can't wait for a few things. One is my cockpit. Should be there before the race, 2-3 weeks. Should be here. And then, yeah, step by step. Tomorrow can be exciting. See you tomorrow.
4 maalipaikkaa, antaa Ruotsille 1 ja kuten nähdään, niin kokonaisvaltaisesti.
And in the evening, a nice easy jog, 8 kilometers, running around somewhere. I don't know, I was in a treadmill because it was freezing cold. I didn't want to be outside. Nice and easy, 130 beats per minute. Easy. Then Saturday 14th, Valentine's Day, I had a super romantic day on my own, well also with my wife, but especially on my own with these beautiful 1000 meter reps. They were so romantic, I gotta tell you about them. So here we did, let me have a look what the session was exactly. Starting YouTube, we're off to the track today, 12 times 1 kilometer, 200 meter jog. The goal is to run 325 to 330 pace. That is my target race pace, the range that I'm aiming for the 7.3 in 4 weeks time. Heart rate and everything, see how it feels. A gut, not super happy, nothing going on, I don't feel sick or anything, but last night I went a bit heavy on the cereals and a bit new type of cereal, and it didn't like that. But that's alright, it's actually good training, because on race day there's always a chance that your gut might play into it, because you put a lot of carbohydrates in there, intensity, all those things, so there's always a chance, especially in Ironman, to get sick, and shouldn't change the fact that you have a job to do, you have a pace to run, and you can run through those things, even if you should throw up. It's actually, I'm not gonna throw up now, very unlikely, but it's good training to run through gut discomfort. Very likely it will happen on race day. It doesn't have to, but good chance. So it was a 20 kilometer run in total. The average pace was 4:25 minutes per K, and the average for the whole was 151 heart rate, but it's not the interesting part. So it was 12 times 1 kilometer. Pace goal was 325 to 330. That is kind of zone 3 with 200 meter jog in between. They felt really good, very good. Heart rate was super steady. You can see the curve even went down in the end. Felt very good, very efficient, and happy with that. Alright gang, we had a little nap, 25 minutes, and now we're ready for the bike ride. I'm really happy how I did the run, the 12 times 1K with 200 meter jog, really controlled it. And the best I've ever run by like a million miles. Basically, I kind of continued now my trend where I was 2017. 2016, for example, I ran 10 times 1K at 3:08 pace. But I was like over threshold. But still, I did it then, no carbon, no nothing. That was again with the coach I had now. And then the years that I ran the halves, I was dead in them. So I ran like 121. 120 was my best, I believe, for a half marathon in a half Ironman. Since then, I was just stuck, right? So also for the full marathon, the best one I ran was 217, I believe. There was a good one. There was on a trajectory good. It was a 317 in Florida, and that gave me second fastest run in the age group on that day. I think overall, because it was hot and all that. No carbon, no high carbs, no nothing, 60 grams. Anyways, back then it was good for me, my trajectory, but then the curve went down, and now I'm finally on it. So it's really, it's almost unreal. So it's gonna feel a bit unreal when I have a race that is like, because it's been so many years of like, almost you don't expect to have a good race anymore. It's really weird. So just to have that reality in front of me, and it's coming now with seeing with the run times, and the effort with it, just in low zone 3 heart rate, and the effort with it, you're cruising, you're not like pushing anything. So very happy with that. And now on the ride the same. It's gonna be 2.5 hour bike ride, luckily with some spice in it, because otherwise it gets a bit boring. So we have now a 3-day load block. Yesterday was a hard swim where the resting heart rate definitely affected, but that's why it's so difficult to manage the 3, right? If you want to improve in your swim, which is almost it is equally important as the bike and run, one has to give. So for example, our resting heart rate went up a lot, but I felt from 47 to 54 now, like brutally up. It was just a swim, I could tell. It was damn near drowning myself yesterday. But I could feel this is exactly what you need and exactly what you will have the demand on the swim, like in race day. So it was exactly what I needed for the swim. So so the whole cocktail is a difficult one to plan. So now we're doing the bike ride. There's gonna be, I think, 10 or 15, I have to check. I have to program the 3 minutes at 330 watts in there, just a little bit of race pace, and see how that feels. And go for it, push it a little bit, but nothing crazy. And then a little swim in the evening, and then tomorrow we back off. Tomorrow is another bigger day straight off this one. So it's a 3-day load block, and Monday is again easy. So key is to get through it clean. That's why I also started running at some point 330 pace, because I can run pretty comfortable 325 pace. Pulse doesn't change, effort changes maybe 5%, but I just at some point like, okay, let's run it clean. 12 times. Calves got a bit sore around 8, so orthopedically it's a new stimulus, which is perfect, which is what you want. So we build those 1Ks up every week. I think next week, 15 times 1K at 325 to 330 pace. I'll be very happy to run 330 on race day. It's a touch under, I take it. It's hard to say, I just push on race day, see what I got. This is training. And then we build it up to 18 times 1K at that pace. I think that's around just close before the race. A little coffee, and then we go biking. Then after lunch, we had we did have a harder bike ride. It was a 2.5 hour bike ride, 260 watts normalized power. That tells a little bit of the story. 134 average heart rate for the whole thing. But I had a lot of 3 minutes of 330 watts, a little bit over race pace, probably. I'm thinking 310, 320 race pace. Based on indoor, we'll see how it is outside, but somewhere in that realm between 310, 320, I would say 320. I don't think 330. Then I can run well, because I want to have a good swim bike run, not just a good swim bike. I want to have a good all of it. So somewhere in that realm, probably, but it's still 4 weeks. Let's see. All right, so warm-up is done. This session is more of a muscular thing, not thinking lactate. Aerobic stimulus is more hurt the legs, make them strong on fatigue, and I'll feel it in the warm-up. Ouch, even 330 really hurts because the legs are smashed with on the run and yesterday. So forget lactate for this one. This one is about making the legs strong and pain tolerance. Let's get it. are 5 reps in. Thankfully, the legs don't hurt as much as in a warm-up, but they're working plenty. So it's awesome. Awesome stimulus. Sometimes you just gotta take the bat to the legs and yeah, have a great coach, thankfully. Because I sometimes get confused with just aerobic system and strength, which is a big part. Big part. But this is also a part. Alright, 5 more. Alright, we're 19 minutes in, we did all the intervals. It was a nice hot stimulus, perfect. And yeah, now a bit easy, and then another spicy kicker after 1 hour 50. And then the right is almost done. 230. Let's get it! Living the dream, nothing I'd rather do. Let's get it! 1 more! So fun. And that one really melted my legs. Holy Jesus. That was a really good session. Really happy with that. Just a nice new stimuli because I was so focused on only aerobic and strength, which is a big bang of it. But this one was a nice new stimulus, especially in this new week of something. Yeah. Then in the evening, a nice easy 45-minute swim. What's happening, gang? Welcome to the third and final session of the day. We did all of the hard work and I'm really proud of it. It's something I struggled with before, being proud of myself, and I realized over time that you in the end have to give yourself the pride. So I don't need wins or all those things to be proud of myself. I can be it on a regular basis when I put the right things and do everything in my control. So look at that, we got an empty pool waiting for us. The swimmers are done, so 50-meter lanes, all free, all for me. And then the reward waits after, so it's only easy, smooth swimming with some pedals and all that, but just good feeling, flushing out. And then there's like cold water, like to flush out the whole body and legs, feels super good. And then also sauna, a few rounds. Yeah, gonna be nice reward. And then some food, chill. That will be my Saturday of chasing dreams. Let's get it. Easy work, technique, and just having a good rhythm for a very good day. Sunday, third day, resting heart rate already a good bit up, average heart rate for the night as well, HRV down, third load day, 3 out of 3 is coming. It's happy with that, last day of the week actually, Sunday. I might be good on timing for you guys. You might get out of the classroom earlier today. So you and me did a 19-kilometer run. Alright guys, we are back at the track now. We got a 19-kilometer run back to back, important for these days because it's 3 days. Intensity is really demanding a lot from the body. It's immune system, so take for sure 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C daily. The iron was actually one that upset the stomach a bit, so I'm gonna change that product. That was not good. I don't take it every day, but I feel on some days it just burns through a lot. Needs it for oxygen, hemoglobin, right? So that's that. So a 19-kilometer run. We got 5K warm up, pretty easy. 520 kilometer pace, 520 minute per K pace, and that's around 720 mile pace. Then we go into 5K at 420 minute per K pace, which is around 620 mile pace, and then into 3K of 340 minute per K pace, which is around 540 mile pace, and then the 1K race pace field, which is around 329 minute per K pace, 330 let's say. And that's around 530 mile pace. So that 1 kilometer will, after the last day's tail a little bit how things are going, it's realistic and general. Just a good training stimulus, that's for sure. And then cool down, and then that's it. Let's get it. It was 136 hours in total, 5:01 average pace, 134. Okay, that doesn't really tell a story. Why are you talking about this? Okay, but here comes the interesting part. So I had 5 kilometers at 520 minute per K pace into 5K at 420 minute per K pace, straight into 3K at 340 minute per K, straight into 1K at the goal was 329, but I just No, I also talked with coach. I ran it at 318, felt very good, the whole thing. Heart rate stable, everything super stable, really happy with that. And then a 5K cooldown at 550 pace or something. So very happy with that, felt amazing. And it was a good stimulus with this whole weekend and the hard run, 12 times 1K before. Happy with that. But we're not done yet, because we had a 3.5 hour bike ride indoors right there with 4 times 8 minute torque work, which was really hard in the end. What's happening, gang? We're about to be riding right here. Coffee for 3.5 hours. Motivation. But that doesn't matter. You get just tired. So main thing is just to stay entertained, because it's pretty long, especially when you're fatigued. But that's the stimulus that you want. That's the business you're in. Ironman is a disturbing sport when you think about the whole length and mass of it. So the training has to at some point represent some realm of it. So 3-4 hour riding can be a huge thing, because that's just one of the parts. But yeah, we're gonna be riding, gonna enjoy it, gonna mix it up with some music and some fun stuff, and ride as a solid aerobic ride, not hanging around. In the end, there's gonna be some strength efforts, and then layered some more aerobic riding, some pressure on pedals. And yeah, afterwards we go to the gym and destroy the muscles a bit more, but we did quite a bit this week, so I'm gonna keep it controlled, 2 sets, but yeah, that'll be plenty for legs and system. And then we ease off tomorrow. That's for shizzle. So fingers crossed. I got 3 times 90 grams of carbs to keep the energy going and the blood sugar up. That also helps with mood. Caffeine doesn't really help anymore. Probably Red Bull, but it's too late for that, then I can't sleep. But let's stop procrastinating and get riding. And yeah, that one definitely hurt, especially after all this stuff. 252 normalized power for the 3.5 hours, 129 average heart rate for the whole thing. And yeah, that was challenging. And it was a good cocktail. Show something new. Really, it felt like the strength after, I don't know. Now it felt actually worse than after 140k on the bike in Ironman. So that's great. It's a good stimulus. And then we did go to the gym, just 30 minutes, some mobility, but a little bit of core work and a little bit of leg work. But I was aware that, okay, you really can't push the legs now, because there's a good chance they're going to be A, tired, and B, dehydrated. And you know what happens to your muscle when he's really tired and really dehydrated, and then you push it with a lot of weight. Not a good cocktail. So I was aware of this combination because of all the work of the last 48 hours. So I kept it controlled, did a little bit something, definitely helped, definitely good, because I want to keep this in as a prehab measurement as well. And keep working on muscle groups that are weak. For example, for me, the adductors inside here, they're starting to roughly not quite be at a 50-50 to the outside, to the abductors. For example, the abductor machine to the outside, I do a 63 kilograms, and the inside one, I do 15 reps of 41 now. I started at like 15, 20, and like felt really weird, because also some of the muscles are in the groin and like here. And yeah, they need to be strong. You're running and landing on them a million times. So but every single muscle group you find in the gym, gotta be as strong as possible, because if you run over time with more volume and or intensity, that structure is gonna earlier or later come and either slow you down or get you injured, one of the two. So that's why gym is important. Bang, that was the week already. I hope I was in a good timeline, and I hope you guys got also something from this video, that dreams have to be broken down into goals, and then you can achieve them. So we are breaking them down. I know the end goal, numbers I want to have. I think triathlon is often getting confused. First of all, triathlon is a math equation. It has nothing to do with even boxing. If you have this rivalry mentally before, even there it's based on skill. Even in boxing, more mental part there, because of course you can derail your opponent, which of course in triathlon you can as well. But yeah, there mainly triathlon is a math equation, because you gotta do the math to swim, bike, run at those paces, and it's not like on race day you can hype yourself into a state that you suddenly do those. So you're gonna do exactly what you did the last 6 weeks before that. If you're lucky, 1 or 2% quicker, maybe 1 or 2% slower, but you're gonna be bang on in that range. So nobody in Ironman wakes up and suddenly does something it's never done before. You're gonna do exactly what you did in training. So you're gonna see what I do here in training, and then I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do more or less exactly that, plus a few percent, maybe minus 2%, who knows, on race day, which is in 26 days, 15th of March, 70.3 Dallas. Yeehaw, as I said. So let's cap it here. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Anything you want me to put in these weekly videos that you want to know about. Yeah, so open to share almost everything in terms of, like, I made a lot of training learnings about, for example, the bike. Or happy to share almost everything. Yeah, so good. Anything that's going on here is legal. That's very important, because I think that's important. If somebody says, oh, I'm gonna do absolutely everything in my power to win. Oh, fishy. If you do say that in endurance sports, not the best part, not the best past in endurance sports. But anything that's going on that's legal is in my control, and that's what I'm doing. There's no secrets in endurance sports. Nothing that suddenly wake up and you do something extraordinary. So my live Strava feed in video form hopefully shows that, because eventually those numbers I'm going to read out to you will objectively be in the category of insane, because I believe I will do those math equations that I think of, and we're working towards them. And even then I'm going to do that on race day, and you see what I did in training. So, okie doke. Good, that was my week. I hope you guys are well. I'll see you in the next week, which is for me right now. It's Tuesday for me. So have a good week, enjoy your training, get after it, and don't be a slacker. Do it.
Hello there. Hey, that's pretty good.
Yeah, boy.
Do it! Just